Hey everyone, my name is Anders, and today we are going to go over this week's Black Desert updates. Our live patch had a lot of good changes this week, but I'm going to talk about first the Global Labs patch. War of the Roses in that one received some minor fixes to the mode. Arena's Apprentice Soldier rank received a buff to rewards. This is the basic rank you get when you first start Arena. You will now obtain the Rallying Solare box when you win at this bracket. Before, you don't even get this. The issue where party chat and party ping were not available when reconnecting into the match has been fixed, and they fixed the issue where you will end matchmaking if your character dies while waiting. The shipwrecked Ancient Relic cargo ship barter node was modified. It now requires 1 trade 5 good for 2 gilded coral instead of 1. Origin of Dark Hunger and Faint Origin of Dark Hunger efficiency has been improved with this Global Labs patch. At the low end, you get more stacks per boost per item. Overall, you will need 22 Origin of Dark Hunger to turn a 100 stack into a 300 stack, whereas before you needed 43 of them. For the calculations for Faint Origin of Dark Hunger, you would now need 49 to increase a 100 stack to 300, whereas before you needed 98. The Golden Pig Cave is now a monster zone with this patch. The catch is that this area will not be open at all times, much like a field boss. It will randomly spawn and then you can access the area. In the Golden Pig Cave, you're going to fight through a selection of elites and monsters, and eventually you'll face the final boss, a Golden Pig King. You will earn trash loot and a new item called Rare Treasures. Rare Treasures serve as a sort of jackpot reward. Only one player among those in the area clearing the zone at that time will be chosen on that server. As players deposit more and more of these rare treasures into the Golden Pig statue, one of you is eventually selected to claim all of them. The reward from this jackpot item seems to be 100 Essence of Dawn, trash loot, gold bars, and a Tet yellow grade accessory box. This one box does not include Dabraka items, Black Distortion earrings, and Vahe earrings. You're going to need 1150 AP, so that's total AP, and 640 DR as a requirement. These are, of course, again, total stats, not just sheet AP and DP. Agris is not applied here. The area will also open at a set timer since the last spawn, and there will be a global announcement letting us know when it does open that way. The zone works very similarly to Marnie Realms and Private Realms, so you don't actually see other players there, even though there may be other players actually grinding there. You can only stay in the zone for 30 minutes total, and you can't enter through the war channels as usual or Arsha channels. If you die while you're in there, you will be removed from the Marnie realm and will have to wait some time before entering the area again. Red Karma players are unable to enter at all. You will also obtain a seal after defeating the final boss, which can be used to exchange for some items through the Managed Currency UI. Loot includes Kaffir Stones, Ancient Spirit Dust, Trash Loot, Faint Origin of Dark Hunger, and Dawn Crystals. Dehkia Crescents received a minor change to the range at which the monsters are stunned when you defeat the Obsidian Energy structure. They've also fixed the issue where you would not see a message when the Obsidian Energy first appeared. Textures for certain assets in the world have been improved to be higher quality. The Barter UI has been updated to show how many of the barter items you own on your ship and in storage. You can also move these items to and from the ship via this new UI change. They've also made it so you can open the central market directly by clicking on the item needed. You can then buy the raw materials you need and then place them into your ship for the exchange. You can even search for items while interacting with NPCs like the Wharf Manager and Stable Keeper. The last change for the Global Labs patch was worker skill change effects have been improved. They've also fixed several minor quality of life issues due to the changes in UI they've implemented recently. Now for the changes that went live this week, these are already live. Let's start with what they did with Emergency Escape. That's a pretty big change. When you press V, your movement has been slowed down, so you have reduced travel distance, but you now gain an iframe at the end of the ability, whereas before you did not have this. Combat assistance has also been changed to no longer apply if you have a family score higher than 200. They've also reduced the damage you deal when using the same skills on cooldown and increased overall damage of skills while in combat assistance mode to alleviate this change. Duskwing was added as a trial mount this week. He is going to be available through a quest from the Black Spirit. Once you complete this quest, you will get a calling horn item that can be used use to summon this dragon. Keep in mind you want to summon Duskwing when you are in an open area so you don't get issues with the mount clipping into buildings and objects. You can fly around the world map with some limitations, but overall it is an amazing experience. You have until the 27th of February to log in and claim the mount, but the item will expire 2 weeks after you obtain it, so keep that in mind. Duskwing as a mount is going to be temporary for now. We assume there will be a way to obtain this mount in-game at a later date. Guilds should be getting a special mount as well that can attack as well, but Duskwing should remain a travel-only mount as far as we know. Warrior, Ranger, Sorceress, Berserker, Tamer, Musa, Mewa, Valkyrie, Witch, Wizard, Striker, Lan, Nova, Sage, Corsair, Dracania, Wusa, Megu, Dosa, and Deadeye all received some form of PVE buff this week on live servers. I'll have the breakdown on the screen for you, but they did, however, nerf the ability to spam skills from the game. Some skills received major damage reductions when used during cooldown, so there is a trade-off with this patch, but in reality, this shouldn't really affect most classes as you tend to use abilities and links rather than spamming just one. There were some exceptions to that at some grind spots, but overall I think it is a good change, especially nice seeing Megu get some damage buffs after so long. Remember, PvP changes will be released after the current arena season ends, so we're gonna have to wait for that to see PvP changes. Those changes will likely be more than just damage changes according to what they're saying in the notes, so we'll see what they have planned. Snowboarding event ended, but we now have the event course and a new, more advanced course opening up this week for us. I liked the event, and snowboarding in general was very smooth. I'm glad they kept it in the game. Just wish they added maybe a few more permanent titles for achieving perfect times. I thought it was a little too easy to get the event titles. Hopefully they expand on snowboarding in the future. Arena had fire and water buff changes to now be individual instead of party-wide when you get them. They have added the ocean-tiered Ebonruth Knoll to the game for sailors. You can craft this item by manufacturing Ebonruth Knoll and Rusalka Sea Crystals. This will allow you to benefit from the effect of both the Sea Crystal and the Knoll at the same time. They have also removed the durability of the Knoll, so that means no more repairs are needed from now on. Island reefs and obstacles have been removed from a lot of the islands to allow for smoother travel while you barter and sail. Not live this week, but will be going live on the 27th of this month, is the ability to sell blue-grade Carrack gear on the central market. This is a big deal, especially for newer players trying to get into sailing, since it does take some time to craft each piece. They will give you a special permanent title as well if you own blue-grade Carrack gear before this change goes live. These two titles will not be obtainable after the 27th of this month, so if you want either of them, you want to make sure you satisfy the requirements for them before this patch goes live at the end of the month. Dehkia Crescent Shrine had some changes to the zone. They added loot from defeating the Argos Obsidian Energy. They reduced the number of hits required to defeat the Obsidian Energy by half. They changed it to also disappear after a certain amount of time instead of right after the mechanic if not defeated. They added an AoE attack to be cast after some time if the Obsidian Energy is not defeated as well, and they've changed the buff it gives from a DP buff to a damage reduction rate buff and an AP buff instead. Dehkia Olun's Valley also had some changes this week by adding the Golem's Heart spawn after every set number of monster group spawns. The Golem's Heart can be destroyed to get loot and casts an AoE attack after some time. For workers, you can now skill change workers while they are working on a task, and the UI will no longer close as you're doing the skill changes. Very nice quality of life there. And in the worker exchange UI, you can now select the affiliated town when checking for workers. They've also added a filter function to help you navigate the exchange. Lastly, they've added the ability to use auto move to storage function even when opening storage through a Maid, which again is a nice quality of life change. For events, we have the Top Dating Coaches Assemble event that will reward you with special yellow titles. You want to go visit Eileen to start that quest chain. Once you complete the objectives, you will get a yellow event title called Cupid. The next quest will then reward you with a yellow event title, Heart Flutterfly. There are also pink versions of these titles, but they can only be obtained through the cash shop. There is a special login reward calendar that runs for the next 2 weeks. All you need to do is log in for the next 2 weeks and you'll get 3,000 Cronstones, so pretty nice to be honest. There's also a new item there called the Fiery Crystal of Fate, and there's also the Frozen Crystal of Fate. You can sell these for 1 million silver, or you can use them for enhancing. The chances are fixed and not affected by our Agris Essence or fail stacks, and we are talking extremely low chances, 0.003% chance for a deck sovereign weapon as an example. Durability does decrease if you fail, but enhancement materials are not consumed, and the enhancement level does not decrease even if it it fails. It also does not consume Agris Essence even upon a successful enhancement. You can get more of these items from the daily login, challenge rewards, and twice each week from Kazarka, Nuver, Karanda, and Kudum world bosses. Fiery crystals are used to enhance Tri or higher sovereign weapons and Black Star weapons and Duo or higher Godderide weapons. Frozen crystals are used to enhance Tri or higher Karazad accessories. These items will only be available for the duration of the event, so it will no longer be obtainable after the 27th of this month. That's all for events and updates this week. Nice to see some class balance on live servers. What do you think about the changes to classes, the enhancing event rates, the origin of Dark Hunger changes? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.